Welcome to my channel, Notorious Crafts. In this video, I will show you how you can make miniature polymer clay donuts using silicone molds. Here are all the supplies you will need. I also have links for them down below in the description. First up, you will need donut-shaped silicone molds, and I like these because they have many different sizes, which is perfect so that you can make them in different size scales if you ever need to. I am also using some liquid clay, clay softener, and many different colors of polymer clay to make my donuts. I am using the colors chocolate, beige, and then I'm going to mix all three of these top clays to get a dark tan color. I also have these popsicle sticks and cups on the side, and then I also have my baking sheet ready to put these in the oven when I'm done. And of course, I have to have a large cup of tea on the side. It is always nice to have while I am working. Oh, and I'm going to use the white and pink clay to make the frosting of the donuts. To make the frosting, I broke up some of the white clay into smaller pieces and then added some clay softener as well as some liquid clay and then mixed it together. I repeated the same exact process to make the pink frosting. For the first set of donuts, I am going to use the chocolate colored clay, and I'm going to warm it up in my fingers just to soften it up a little bit. This will also help the clay fit in the molds much better. The silicone mold has many different sizes of donuts that I can make, and I'm going to choose this one on the end. It looks the most like 1/12 scale. I rolled the clay and then just wrapped it around the donut mold until there was enough inside of it, and then I just kept pressing it with my finger until there was enough inside. I removed some of the excess clay that was going over the edges, and I ended up just using my fingernail for that. Probably wasn't the best idea since it ended up getting underneath my nails, but you can use some different tools for that and just continue pressing it until all of the clay fills up the entire mold. And you can do that by checking the other side, and if you see any air bubbles, just keep pressing it down. And if you can't get those air bubbles out, try adding just a little bit more clay on top and then continue pressing it in until all the air bubbles are removed. And now when I flip it over, there are no more air pockets, so I will be ready to take this out of the mold. You can either bake the clay right in the mold or you can pop it out. I am making a lot of donuts at once, so for me, it's easier if I just pop each of them out after I put them in the mold. I did have to reshape them just a little bit since they got distorted when I tried to take them out of the mold. I'm going to make the next set of donuts using this mold. These are very pretty and very detailed. I'm going to make some more using the chocolate clay since I want to have a large variety of donuts. I'm using the same exact process as I did with the other mold. This donut design was a lot more easier to pop out of the mold than the other ones. Maybe it has something to do with having a lot more grooves, but they were a lot easier to pop out. For the next set of donuts, I ended up making a custom color, mixing the beige, yellow, and chocolate clay. The beige clay was just a little bit too light, so I wanted to make it darker and to make it look like a more realistic donut. And then I just continued mixing it together using my fingers until I got the color that I wanted. And here is how the clay looks once it is fully mixed, and you can see the difference compared to the chocolate. I'll have a nice variety of different donuts. And I'll continue the same process as I did with the chocolate clay. I have all of my donuts ready to go, and I'm going to place them in the oven to bake so that they can all harden. After taking them out of the oven, I set them aside for about 10 minutes and let them cool, and then I test them to make sure that they are hardened, and they are, so I'll be ready to put the frosting on top of them. I really like how these turned out. I think I'll put frosting only on half of them, maybe some that aren't as perfect. I'll cover up some of those imperfections using the frosting. I used a toothpick to gently place the frosting on top of some of the donuts. With the pink clay frosting, I had to add a little bit more to my layer just so that the color of the donut was not showing through, since the pink clay was a little bit more see-through, it seemed like. And once I had all the frosting on, I placed all of the donuts back in the oven for about 5 minutes so that the frosting can harden. And my miniature clay donuts are ready to be served. I placed them on top of a little tiny wooden square that can look like a little serving platter, and they just look so cute. The frosting ended up looking just a little bit chunky. I did not mix my clay well enough. I'm gonna have to remember that for next time, just so that it looks a little bit more smoother and like a more realistic donut frosting. But let me know what you guys think. Which ones did you like the most? And as always, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.